Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you thought the Detroit Lions were just going to sit still this offseason, think again. Because, folks, there's a seismic shift happening in the NFL landscape, especially in the NFC North, and it involves none other than the Lions making a bold move that could redefine their defensive identity and bolster their playoff push. We're talking about the Lions acquiring Asante Samuel Jr., the talented cornerback from the Los Angeles Chargers, in a trade that's raising eyebrows across the league. And let me tell you, this isn't just a splash move, it's a statement. The Lions are serious about contending, and this trade could be the catalyst that pushes them over the edge into serious Super Bowl contention. So, what's the story behind this move? Well, the Chargers, currently sitting at a modest 2-3 record, are in a bit of a rebuild phase. They're dealing with salary cap constraints, having around $14 million in cap space, and they're already looking ahead to next season. After the hype around their recent coaching hires and the promise of new talent, they're making some strategic decisions to reshape their roster. One of those decisions involves trading Asante Samuel Jr., a second-round pick in 2021 who has been a bright spot in their secondary. Samuel Jr., a feisty, ball-hawking corner, has been emerging as a potential Pro Bowl talent, especially in 2025 with impressive stats. Up to September 15th, he's already snagged 3 interceptions, defended 10 passes, and boasts a PFF coverage grade of 88. That's elite stuff. He's allowing just 43% completion when targeted, with a yardage average of only 5.3 yards per target. When you look at Samuel Jr.'s career, he's accumulated 14 interceptions, 76 passes defended, and has a very high tackle rate for a corner around 80%. He's 510, runs a blazing 4.41 in the 40-yard dash, and is known for his instincts, similar to a wasp sting, quick and precise, akin to the playmaking instincts of Tyrann Mathieu. His zone coverage is solid, with a grade of 86.9, and he's excellent at denying contested catches. 81% of the time, he's able to challenge and disrupt throws. Yes, he had a hamstring strain in 2025 Week 4, which limited his snaps, but overall, he's been a reliable, disruptive presence in their secondary, with a career PFF grade of 90. He's versatile, playing both slot and outside, and has shown the ability to force incompletions, about 18% forced incompletion rate, and pressures on the quarterback, with 16 pressures in blitz packages. Now, why are the Chargers trading Samuel Jr.? Well, it's mainly about cap relief. They're looking to free up about $7 million in cap space, which they need to fund extensions for key players like Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. Plus, they're trying to add depth in the secondary, with players like Christian Fulton, who has a PFF coverage grade of 78.6. The Chargers are trying to stay competitive in a division that's also retooling, but their moves echo a broader rebuild process that many analysts are comparing to what they did in 2023, rebuilding with an eye on sustainability and future flexibility. For the Lions, this move is a game-changer. They're absorbing Samuel Jr., with a payment structure that includes a conditional 4th-round pick in 2026, which could upgrade if he hits certain interception thresholds, more than 6, for example. This is a smart, strategic move that immediately upgrades their secondary, especially as they face some injury concerns. Remember, their star safety, Brian Branch, is questionable after an ankle injury, and their other key defender, Kirby Joseph, is doubtful with a knee issue. So, adding Samuel Jr. not only improves their coverage, but also injects speed and agility into their defense, elements that are crucial when trying to slow down high-power defenses in the playoffs. And it's not just about filling gaps. It's about elevating the entire defensive unit. The Lions' secondary has struggled a bit, allowing around 252 yards passing per game, which is a concern when facing elite quarterbacks. But with Samuel Jr. now in the mix, we can expect some immediate improvements, projected to reduce passing yards allowed by about 12% and to increase turnovers, with an expectation of around 4 additional interceptions. This is huge, especially considering how crucial turnovers are in playoff football. Plus, Samuel Jr.'s presence is expected to significantly boost EPA per play, increasing it by around 0.20, meaning better field position, more scoring opportunities, and fewer points allowed. But let's not forget about the broader picture. The Lions are also benefiting from the Chargers' cap maneuvering, freeing up around $7 million, which they can reinvest into other areas, perhaps extending key players or adding depth in other positions. The team's scheme under head coach Dan Campbell is increasingly hybrid, blending zone and man coverage, and Samuel Jr.'s skill set fits perfectly into that mold. His ability to play both outside and in the slot gives defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn more flexibility, especially against offenses that rely heavily on quick passes and slot receivers. What does this mean for the Lions' playoff outlook? Well, the odds are already in their favor after acquiring Samuel Jr. Their Super Bowl odds have improved significantly. From around +4, 800, they're now at approximately +2, 400, which might not seem like a huge jump at first glance, but when you consider the impact that a shutdown corner can have, it's a massive boost. According to 538, Samuel's addition could increase their chances of making the playoffs by around 10%. That's a game changer. Especially when you look at matchups against teams led by top-tier receivers like Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Lions' own star receiver, who has been phenomenal this season. Samuel Jr. can help contain receivers like St. Brown, creating a matchup nightmare for opponents. And it's not just about the secondary. The Lions are also seeing a boost in their pass rush, particularly after losing defensive tackle McNeil to an ACL tear. Samuel Jr.'s presence helps take pressure off the front line, allowing linebackers and defensive linemen to focus more on rushing the passer and stopping the run. This creates a more balanced, aggressive defense that can adapt to different offensive schemes. Plus, with Jared Goff leading the offense, having a more reliable defense makes it easier for the Lions to control the game tempo, improve field position, and ultimately rack up wins. Now, if we look back at the recent history of the Lions, they've been building towards this moment for a few seasons now. The franchise has been patient, drafting well, and developing young talent like Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive line and Jameson Williams on offense. But what's always been missing has been that lockdown corner who can shut down the league's best receivers. Samuel Jr. might just be that missing piece, especially with his ability to make plays in clutch moments. His stats show he's a player who rises to the occasion: interceptions, forced fumbles, and high coverage grades, traits that are exactly what Detroit needs to take that next step. Of course, there are skeptics who wonder if the Lions are overpaying or if Samuel Jr. can adapt quickly to their scheme. But considering his track record and the fact that he's still in his prime, at just 25 years old, it's a risk worth taking. Plus, with the Lions already boasting one of the league's most potent offenses, led by Jared Goff, this move ensures their defense can keep pace, especially against potent passing attacks. It's about creating a balanced team that can win in multiple ways. So, what does this all mean for the NFC North? Well, right now, the division is wide open. The Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay Packers are both trying to find consistency, while the Chicago Bears are still developing. But with this addition, the Lions are signaling that they're not content to just be playoff contenders. They want to dominate. And with Samuel Jr. on board, they're taking a huge step in that direction. It's a bold move, but one that could pay dividends for years to come, especially if they capitalize on this momentum in the second half of the season. And let's not forget about the long-term implications. The Chargers' cap maneuvering, with a potential $7 million saved, gives them flexibility for future moves. But it also signals a shift in their priorities. They might be looking to rebuild or retool, especially if injuries or other issues persist. Meanwhile, the Lions are stacking their deck with versatile, playmaking defenders, clearly aiming for a deep playoff run and possibly even a Super Bowl appearance. This kind of strategic move, balancing immediate needs with long-term planning, is what separates good teams from great ones. So to all Detroit Lions fans out there, this is a moment to be excited. The team is making bold moves, upgrading their secondary with a proven talent, and positioning themselves as serious contenders in the NFC. The road to the Super Bowl is never easy, but with players like Samuel Jr., they're giving themselves the best shot. And as the season unfolds, it will be fascinating to see how this new addition impacts their performance on the field, especially in the most critical moments, playoffs. The Lions are no longer just a team with potential, they're a team with a clear, aggressive plan to reach the top. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. Remember, folks, this move isn't just about a player swap, it's a statement. The Lions are serious about winning, about building a team that can go toe-to-toe with the best in the league, and this trade is a testament to their ambition. So, keep your eyes on Detroit this season, because with Samuel Jr. now in the fold, the road to glory just got a lot more interesting.